Welcome to the March edition of Inside the Dragons. This is one of my favorite months. It's an opportunity to get into classrooms and read to our many learners, as well as many other community members participating in that as well. Also, you will see Dragon Day, where our Stadium Drive elementary students got to come into Lake Orion High School and meet a little bit of the high school experience. Sell Out was a huge success this year during Charity Week. Our leadership class did a wonderful job, and you'll really acknowledge the energy and the spirit that our students have. At Waldon Middle School, our students were able through dodgeball to learn about the Greek and Athenian armies. Look forward to that segment. And lastly, Paige Walker, one of our extremely talented saxophone players, gets an opportunity to play in Vienna, Austria.
When the calendar flips to March, there is a ripple across the Lake Orion Community Schools. Months of planning for March's Reading Month are unleashed, and creativity bursts forth throughout the district. An array of guest readers, incentive opportunities, competitions, and motivation to crack open a book fill the schools.
Carpenter is doing a Reading Olympics theme this year for March's Reading Month, and we have a school-wide goal of 150,000 minutes. We have our Dragon Reading Racer here, and he's going to race over our Minute Mountain, and when he hits the bronze, that'll be 50,000 minutes, the silver is 100,000 minutes, and hopefully we make it to the gold finish line, which is 150,000 minutes. So the students have a weekly organizer page that they keep track of their minutes on, and then they turn that into their teacher every Friday, and the teachers are tallying those up. And we have a teacher who's in charge of calculating the school-wide minutes and moving our dragon. And then each grade level has an individual reading goal for a certain number of minutes every week. If students meet that goal, they have a little snowflake they can put their name on and come and add it inside the mountain here. So we'll be building some more snow throughout the mountain over the month.
At the elementary schools, finding a theme is important to engage the students. At Stadium Drive, the theme was space. The different planets and photos of students in small spaceships. They even had dress-up day, where Stadium Drive students dressed in their best astronaut gear. At Blanche Sims, the school signage and decorations centered around Candyland, always an enticing option for students. The Sims students also received an opportunity for their first larger gatherings in the past few years to connect with author Jonathan Rand.
He is the author of Freddie for Nortner, which I know you all know, and the Dollar Store Danny series, as well as a bunch of other books. So please welcome Jonathan Rand.
Boo. How are you guys? And the funny part about this is that years from now, when you guys have the opportunity to attend college, I promise you, you will remember this day. You are going to remember me being at your school talking to you about this. Now, it might be different. Years from now, you're going to be away in college. You'll be in your dorm room, sitting on a little milk crate, eating macaroni and cheese from a paper plate, and you're going to remember this day, and you're going to stop eating, and you're going to think, this is what that author guy was talking about.
To show that reading is not just for young students, the LOCS elementary classes each brought in a few guest readers to share books. LOCS Superintendent Ben Kirby read in a number of schools and got to connect with students.
I'm a bad seed, a real bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes that bad seed. There was the little bowl of milk, just waiting.
It's just his eyes. It's the milk.
So she chased it Down the sidewalk, through the garden, past the field, and by the pond. But Kitten never seemed to get closer.
The month is an opportunity for dragons throughout the community to connect with the students, and many took up the opportunity. Both Oakland County Sheriff's deputies and LOCS Board of Education trustees visited Pine Tree Center to read to classes.
Pete the cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes.
At the middle school level, the annual Battle of the Books excites many of the students. They are split into teams within their schools in January and spend the next 2 months reading the assigned books and familiarizing themselves with the texts. Then, in March, they all gather for a one-day competition where they answer trivia questions about the books and celebrate with costumes.
We are super excited this year just because we got to do it back in person. We were virtual last year, so we spent the last 5 months or so reading and getting ready and writing questions and preparing these teams for battle. So this event is probably my favorite event of my whole career, basically, and we just want to foster that love of reading. So by adding a competition to it, it kind of makes it really, really fun, and they just have fun along the way, and they're learning, they're reading, they're picking up new words, new vocabulary, and keeping their brains smart.
Witnessing a lot of energy. It's great to see all the kids out here working as teams. I see a lot of great costumes, a lot of good energy, so it's a lot of fun so far. March is reading month, and that's really what it's about. Gets kids involved in reading, instills that love of reading, and hopefully that carries them through. So I think I see a lot of enthusiastic kids about reading here, and that's really what it's about, right?
The middle schools also allowed students to visit the Media Center on their lunch breaks to hear guest readers, including Sabrina Halsey from the Orion Township Public Library. Throughout the district, March is dominated by readers, authors, and creative movement associated with reading. While reading is highlighted within 1 month, the hope is the passion continues throughout the year. The elementary school life is usually kept small for students. They spend their days with a single class and a single primary teacher in a school that is small enough to fit their size. But as they enter 5th grade, the idea of a larger school world begins to creep into their head. Middle school awaits next fall, and they begin to understand the larger school district is out there with possibilities. The Lake Orion High School leadership class understands this feeling and wanted to provide the Stadium Drive 5th graders with a taste of the big schools with Dragon Day. The 5th graders walked from their school for a day of games, fun, and learning about the high school, including eating lunch in the LOHS Commons with the older students.
I was very excited for just rebuilding and having somewhat normal back, and I was really excited because I know this is really fun for the kids, and it's all about having fun and teamwork. And it was a great group. I had a great committee this year, and with all their help, I couldn't have done without them, and it was just great. Personally, it was very hard for me to put myself in the 5th graders' shoes. You don't really know how much they know, or me personally being a 5th grader, I'm just here to have a good time, and I think that's what our main goal was. And we still want it to be a learning experience, so we try to tie some of those aspects in there. Being an elementary schooler and transitioning to the 6th grade is going to be, I think it's a difficult for everybody, and for me, I was kind of worried, and I think this would help just relaxing.
The day began in the auditorium where the leadership class executive board introduced their school values.
Hey guys, so I'm Kyler, and here at Lake Orion, dragons represent many different things. So the D in dragons represent dragon differences. Here dragons look, act, and can be totally different, but at the same time all come together to be one.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and the next thing that dragons represent is respect each other. So the easiest thing you can do to help you make new friends and get more involved and try new things is to be nice to one another. And the best thing about kindness is it always finds its way back to you.
The students were split into 3 groups, and the leadership class guided each group through various activities.
I was really excited to see what it would look like in the inside and how the day would go. I was really scared because I didn't know like what we're going to be doing. All the high schoolers are really nice. Yeah.
They conducted an icebreaker, a getting to know you activity. They even colored together and had conversations. And they played physical games to get out the young students' energy. They also ate lunch as a group as the Stadium Drive students experienced a day to remember, which hopefully will help them as they transition to middle school. Two of the landmark moments of the Lake Orion High School calendar are the Charity Week and the Sellout event. This year, the 2 events were combined into 1 week, all benefiting Sellout for Soldiers. The LOHS leadership class planned a number of unique events, including themed spirit days. The Dragon Plunge returned with staff members and students jumping off the diving board, all while wearing costumes, as students cheered them on and donated for a cause. Another fun annual event is the Hypnotist, who draws out the unconscious in the students.
Here's your last chance for bids. Someone's going to win $50,000. Could be you. What is this? Here we go, bigger! 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 On the count of 3, everybody goes to sleep. On the count of 3, everybody sleep. 1, 2, 3, sleep. Ouch.
The biggest dollar fundraiser of the week came during coin stalls. LOHS students were asked to bring in their coins, and their first period teachers would spend the period counting it. It delayed the learning until the teacher was done, and students could further slow the process by purchasing oven mitts the teacher had to use, or a 5-minute pause pass. Students and teachers embraced the opportunity, and LOCS business partner PNC Bank sent representatives to oversee the counting, which ended up raising more than $6,000 just for the coin stall event alone. The signature event of the year at Lake Orion High School capped off the week on March 17th. The annual Sellout for Soldiers event asks LOHS students to give up their cell phones for the day, as leadership donates money for the cell phones for the Soldiers Charity, supporting U.S. servicemen and women. The event adjusted slightly this year as the students kept their phones with them, but agreed to place them in a sealed bag for the duration of the day.
So today at Lake Orion High School, we're holding our annual Sellout event. Normally we take phones after we bag them, but this year we're having students hold on to their phones. They're all sealed in a bubble bag, and then they're going to be kept in their backpacks and boxes at the front of the classroom. We're just encouraging students to stay out their phones, make some real connections, and for every phone we collect, we donate $1 to the charity Cell Phones for Soldiers. Yeah, Lake Orion High School is unique. We're the only school in the country that holds an event like this. It started 7 years ago, and we've been doing it ever since. It's something that everybody looks forward to, and it's a day we all come together.
It's really about the kids and about the things that they can do, and Lake Orion likes to be unique. We like to do things that no other schools are doing, so we're thrilled to have it back, and we're thrilled to be able to celebrate not only our military, but just the unity that it brings our building for the day.
The day was highlighted with an assembly honoring community heroes as they played volleyball against the students, including those from the unified team. Bringing back the annual tradition reminds us what a special opportunity LOHS creates each year. As the Waldon Middle School 7th graders learn about history, their teachers have provided a way to reach beyond the textbooks. Weeks of understanding the ancient Greeks, Athenians, Spartans, and Persian army, and the battles that defined those days, gave way to a physical activity as part of the unit lesson.
We've been doing this Athenian and Spartan challenge for quite a few years now, about 5 or 6 years. It is the brainchild of Zach Abeels. We've just kind of taken it to another level here. We do 3 days of trials during our STAR classes where students are completing challenges to make either the Athens or the Spartan team. The rest of our team becomes the Persian army. We've been studying the Greco-Persian wars and Greek Empire, and this is kind of the introduction to our study about empires. The kids really get into it, they have a great time, and there's just a lot of team bonding that goes on through it as well. I mean, they don't have many chances during the day to be active, and the challenges had physical challenges, but we also had some logic puzzles and challenges like that for the Athenians, and just having a little bit of friendly competition is always really motivating for 7th graders.
The students were split up into teams, simulating previous battles. Each dodgeball game and exercise ball volleyball was a chance to either confirm the result or change history. The outcomes were recorded on a gym wall so the sides could see where they ended up.
So the first time I heard about being part of this giant war simulation, I thought this was going to be a very fun experience because we can simulate everything while it being a safe and fun experience. So there was a bit of team bonding. Everybody tried to work together, make strategies. Everybody tried to make sure that we could try and win. I'm on the Persian team, and we got backstory to the Persians, the Athenians, and the Spartans all together. So we kind of knew about them before we were on the teams. This makes it leagues more eager to fun because it's something that keeps us active, and it also teaches us about it at the same time, which gives a fun experience and an enjoyable experience.
Students throughout the Lake Orion Community Schools stand out in different areas and disciplines. Those opportunities often take them beyond the state of Michigan's borders. For Lake Orion High School senior saxophone player Paige Walker, it'll be beyond the country. Paige earned the opportunity to travel to Vienna, Austria to share her musical gifts.
Music Friend is also called the Great Hall or the Golden Hall in Vienna, Austria. So I applied to that during marching band season, so I applied to it about August, September, and I found out I got in late October. And so this July, I'll be going over to Vienna, Austria to play in an international band there.
From her youngest days, Walker has been drawn to music. When she was young, she would sing instead of talk. She would tap drum beats throughout the grocery store and always sought the musical outlet as she attended the Stadium Drive School for the Arts that led to voice lessons and the saxophone.
I've been in a lot of honors bands or all-state bands around Michigan, but I think one of my favorite bands is always just the ones at school. I went to Scripps and I played with Mr. Crimmins, and now I'm here and I played in the concert band and then the wind ensemble with Mr. Steele.
Well, first of all, she's very talented. That doesn't mean that she's just born a natural player. That means she's worked really hard to become a very good player on her instrument. That comes just through hours of dedication, hours of practice, getting the right kind of instruction both in the school and seeking not just lessons, but other opportunities to perform outside of the school as well. Clearly she has a great love for what she does, and she's very talented. She plays with a great sound. I mean, honestly, the saxophone's kind of an instrument that is not that hard to get good at playing, but it's really hard to get that consistently excellent at playing and making that excellent of a sound.
Paige should be comfortable in Vienna this summer, as she is familiar with playing on a big stage. Previously, she was part of a select band which played at famed Carnegie Hall in New York City. So this is another step in her evolution. As she graduates from LOHS this summer, her future will likely involve music and sharing her passion with others.
Honestly, music is just kind of my life. I do a lot of stuff, but I've never felt a bigger community. I've never felt more in place than I have in music and in band. I'm going to college for post-secondary music education and performance. So I want to become a music professor when I'm older. That would be a huge dream of mine, to just kind of like bring in students who have a passion for music and already know a little bit, and be able to kind of bring them to that next level. I think that this opportunity is one that's really just going to stick with me for the rest of my life. I don't see me ever forgetting it. Like, even now, it hasn't happened yet, and I'm just so excited. I know it's just going to be amazing.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month, and go Dragons!
Inside the Dragons is produced by the Lake Orion Community Schools in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. For up-to-date news and information about the Lake Orion Schools, visit our website at lakeorionschools.org and watch us on Comcast Educational Access Channel 22 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99.